Hiya Darren, welcome to a Celtic State of Mind Champions League Match Day Special. I don't know how this will work, how long it will last, but let's see what happens. I'm currently on the supporters bus going to the football. It's a bit quiet at the moment because I was the first pick-up basically. So here we go, Match Day 1 in the Champions League. Tonight we face PSG, a club who are making a concerted effort to get into the elite group of the Champions League, the Champions teams. For a couple of years now they've been knocking on the door of this competition, and with the signings of Draxler, Mbappe and Neymar, they've chucked a Molotov cocktail through the letterbox all towards Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Juve, Barcelona. The group that they've got with us and Bayern and Anderlecht gives them a very good chance to put a marker down. So they want to be putting Bayern in their place, so tonight's going to be extremely difficult for us. PSG's gross spend this summer has seen a lot of us, older generation anyway, have an instant dislike for them. For some they epitomise all that is wrong with football, a nouveau riche creation and a country's plaything. PSG were formed in 1970. They were formed at a party disc using elements of Paris FC and Stade Saint-Germain, and the club have been owned by a fashion designer, a TV channel and now an Arab state. They are disliked in France even before the injection of Arab money in 2011. Many fans of the rivals like Olympique Marseille, Rennes, City call them fake, and the club that was created for Parisian media types. One of the biggest gripes is the state is when PSG were even playing poorly, the media coverage was overtly positive. So it's only in Scotland that doesn't happen. They've had a bit of a problem with fans. Their ultra group was disbanded in 2008, and they've been known, some of the supporters have been known to have right-wing politics, and there has been fighting between the groups. And it's only recently that the groups have got back into the stadium. A few years ago I met a group of PSG ultras. They were going to Derry to watch their club in the UEFA Cup. I was in Dublin in a pub watching Man United play Celtic in the Champions League. They were passionately supporting Celtic, so I struck up a conversation. As good as I could strike up a conversation because my French is not very good and their English wasn't too good. From the conversation it became very clear that how they viewed the politics of Celtic was completely different to their politics. They had a completely different take on nationalism, republicanism and civil rights, but believed that Celtic fans were had the same views as them. They were at completely different ends of the spectrum. A few days later I received an email with a picture of the ultras standing in front of your now Everton and the Free Derry mural. Their take on Free was completely different from mine and possibly a lot of people's. On the way to the game now, I'm wondering if these guys still follow PSG. I wonder if the riches and the multiculturalism of PSG now don't sit with them and they've found something else to do with their time. I don't know, I lost the guy's email address so I can't check. Obviously we've played PSG before. We played them in 1995 where our trip to Paris saw Roll With It, the legend that is Roll With It, be created. Pierre Van Hooydonk missed a glorious chance that night to equalise and blind the floodlights, but PSG were in a golden period. They had reached 3 European semi-finals in the preceding years. Their team contained Ra, Lama, Le Guen and the jewels of Woko, Dokai and Ngotti. After their 3-0 victory at Celtic Park, they were applauded off the field. They still rank as the best side I've seen at Celtic Park. On the way to Celtic Park on nights like tonight's, Parkhead's paradise. There's no tension, no pressure, we have nothing to lose. The qualifiers are nervous affairs, but we can now take off our work clothes and put on our suits. These nights are here to be enjoyed, and like any football game we have a puncher's chance of getting a result no matter how slim it seems beforehand. I'm sitting on this bus going with hope. I'll talk to a few other guys on the bus once the teams are announced. I'm just hoping we get a good account of ourselves. I just want clubs not to see us as an easy touch, not to just come here to enjoy the surroundings, but to come to Celtic Park and get a game. Hopefully that happens. So the team's been named, and the papers this morning says Ralston was going to play at right back, and he is playing at right back. Up front, Griffiths is back. So the team's basically as we expected, but we are a back four are Ralston, Lustig, Simovic and Tierney, Gordon in goals, Enchar, Armstrong, Sinclair, Brown and Roberts. It'd be interesting to see how Ralston does. Is he going to have a John Kennedy or David Marshall with their European debuts, or is he going to freeze on the night? Big questions for Brendan. It's a big decision. We'll just need to wait and see how it turns out. What do you think of Ralston starting?
I think Ralston starting is a brilliant idea because Lustig is a centre half and he's played there before with Sweden and stuff, so Ralston played there fantastic, absolutely brilliant.
What do you think of Lustig? He's kind of lacks a bit of pace.
He might lack a bit of pace at centre half, however, instead of Bitten hasn't got the nous, the heat for being a centre half. Lustig, however, knows the space round about him. Bitten doesn't, so I think it's a great idea.
Do you think Rodgers should have went full route to get another centre half before the end of the transfer window, or are we quite happy to wait on Beaton coming back? No Beaton, Boyata, sorry.
I think depending on what happens tonight, we'll see. Obviously, I think a lot of folk are clamouring for another centre half, but I trust Rodgers, so we'll just go with that.
What do you think of Ralston starting?
Debatable, not really proven. He's only started 4 games. Although Brendan must be thinking that Lustig's not done enough in the past 4 games he's faced Neymar. But a bit of a risk to play an 18-year-old against world superstars. What do you think about it?
Are you more worried about Lustig playing centre half or playing a inexperienced right back? Lustig's had a bit of abuse after Astana and that. So is it just mere the fact that Lustig's moved in one, or the fact that they're playing an inexperienced right back that's giving you the fear?
A bit of both. It's a bit more unsettled, whereas playing Beaton at centre half and Lustig on the right, 3 of the 4 were in their usual slots, but I don't know, we'll have to see how they set it up. I'm hoping Brendan's got a master plan that he's working at, and that Ralston's going to send Neymar to the floor after 5 minutes and go up front and score. But the living dream.
What do you think of Ralston starting?
Reminds me of Mike Conroy in the 1980 Scottish Cup final. We never did any centre halves. Mike Conroy went in there from midfield, played great, young boy. I think he'll do very well tonight.
We have had a bit of history with young players coming into European games. We had David Marshall and John Kennedy in recent years. So do you think that Ralston could be as good as them?
Absolutely, I think he's done very well since he's come into the team. Very strong boy. Obviously there at St Johnstone would have clipped his wings a little bit, but apart from that he's been very solid, and Brendan knows what he's doing.
You mentioned St Johnstone there. Do you think he was more to blame, or Gordon was more to blame? Now we have to have a look at Craig Gordon. The 3 goals that we've lost domestically, I think Gordon's been at fault for all of them.
Yeah, I think he has, but it's like he's not really what he's done. Every goalkeeper, the whole goalie, I mean, he used to had some dreadful games for us, and people forget that. Craig Gordon, I think, has been the second best goalkeeper for Celtic that I've watched, and I've been going since 1971. I think Fraser Foster's the best. I think he's the second best.
What do you think about Ralston starting?
Well, your biggest problem is the defence. Now you've got 2 choices. You either bring Ayer in central defence, or you bring Ralston into the right back position. Personally, I believe that Ayer was destroyed a bit in the last game he played because he didn't have anybody alongside him. But he would have been a better bet centre half up until then. He'd been brilliant.
When you mentioned Ayer there, the game against Astana, I tend to agree with you that he was let down by the more experienced guys alongside him.
He was.
Do you think that the beat-on experiment at centre half is quite rightly been discarded for the night for a young inexperienced right back?
Most definitely. Being is nowhere near a centre half. At least with what do you call it? in the right.
Lustig.
At least with Lustig you've got some experience. I think Ralston will do well, but it won't last the game. Nervous tension plus the pace of the game. It's always going to last 90 minutes.
We've had a couple of recent years, we've had young players come into big European ties. One that I didn't mention there was Paul Caddis, played against Barcelona under Stratton, and he done fantastically. As you say, Ralston's got a bit of nervous energy, it might see him through the game.
He'll see him through about 3/4 of the game, and for the last 20 minutes or so he'll be shattered.
We just need to wait and see,
We wait and see.
7:25 I've arrived at Celtic Park. The atmosphere's crackling, really good, really good. Just about to walk under the North Stand. North Stand's absolutely immense. A structure that has 26,000 feet, 26,000 people. We're actually here earlier, and I didn't expect us to be here as quick as this, but we're here now, so hopefully still getting for kick-off. North Stand gives you a bit of shelter for the rain. Everybody's scurrying about trying to get in the turnstiles. The turnstiles are actually quite empty here. Surprising. Everybody's rushing about, just wanting to get out of the turnstiles into the game, get their seats, get there for the start. Right, that's my turnstile now, so I'll talk to these once I'm in the ground. Just got up the stairs to my seat, in the ground. The teams are just getting announced, so hopefully you get a bit of the atmosphere just as I turn up. Champions League flag's been lifted and it's just about to get waved. No seat being hard, everybody seems to go here early and an impressive PSG contingent. One of the best away supports I've seen so far. I'll just let this breathe. Behind the standing section, so that's the Green Brigade just dropped their banner display, so I can't tell you what it is yet, but I'm sure I'll find out what I should have known. Big screen news showing the players coming through the tunnel, big decent noise. It doesn't matter how many times you've experienced that, that is just amazing. It hears in the back of the net stuff every time. Well, here we go. Here's the huddle, Bruno's just coming in from crossing the coin, doing his post-match tunes. There we go, he's into the huddle, that's it is.
Celtic have upset the odds in the Champions League before. Can they do it again? What a moment for 18-year-old Tony Ralston, who's drafted into the Celtic defence for this one. One of three changes to the team which won at Hamilton on Friday. Forrest and McGregor drop out. Back in come Olivia and Cham, and fit again Lee Griffiths. PSG changed three-quarters of their defence, which played at Metz on Friday night, returning Thiago Silva, Marquinhos and Kurzawa. Back at the midfield, Marco Verratti, dropping out Meunier, Kimpembe, Yuri and Draxler. Italian Verratti. There's room out wide here for Dani Alves to deliver. Oh, it's a good ball in. And Cavani a fraction away from applying the finishing touch.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a feature of PSG's play. The fullbacks getting nice and high early. That terrific ball in. Dani Alves' reaction is saying, why didn't you get on the end of that?
Rabiot. Lovely pass for Kurzawa, and that has to be offside against Cavani.
So tell you what though, Rob, they move the ball so well. Every player in this PSG side is accomplished, and Roberts lets that ball get played on the inside of him, and Cavani, I think that's a good decision from the assistant. Not for him, by Emery.
Verratti floats one forward. Back for Cavani. Saved by Craig Gordon. Powerfully struck.
There's really good movement from Verratti making that run. He's onside. He knocks it back to Cavani. And Craig Gordon, for Celtic to get anything tonight, he's going to have a really big...
And the referee turns a blind eye. On the counter, Rabiot threads it through, and Neymar opens the scoring for Paris Saint-Germain. "19 minutes gone, and that is the big breakthrough."
Yeah, and you can hear the boos around the stadium. I think the referee should bring that back for a foul on Scott Sinclair, but then Ralston just switches off. Neymar's onside. He does really well. What about the weight of pass from Rabiot? And then it's can he finish? And it is superbly lifted into the roof of the net. And that's the threat. It's always the danger. That's what you get, Rob, for nearly 200 million. Brilliant finish.
Top class finishing from Neymar. His first Champions League goals were against Celtic. Lee Griffiths, great strike.
I tell you, he must be all of 40 yards. He's got no right to shoot from there. He gets so much pace on the ball and accuracy. That's a smart save.
Here is Neymar. And Verratti. It's Neymar again, missed by Cavani. But Kylian Mbappe fires in the second goal. 2 goals in 2 games for the teenage sensation, and Celtic are 2 goals behind.
Well, they're just a class apart, aren't they? PSG, really good movement. They're not frightened to put the ball in from wide areas. They get the break there. Cavani totally missing his kick. But Mbappe does what all good strikers do, just anticipates, and he's not going to miss from there. A lethal finish, good knockback, get a little bit fortunate.
Pio drilling the ball down the line for Kurzawa. Down goes Cavani, penalty given. It is a penalty kick and a booking for Simunovic, and a chance for PSG to go 3 goals in front.
Well, keeping the ball easily, there is a tug. I think that is the right decision, a good decision from the referee.
Well, this is all going horribly wrong for Celtic, and it wasn't really too tough an offence to spot that one.
No, it wasn't. It was a really good run. They've got good movement. Cavani, and that tuck back. I wonder whether it should be a red though, Rob.
Well, I think it's the old double whammy rule these days, isn't it? That yellow is deemed to be enough. It's Cavani, and it is 3-0. Cavani, Neymar, Mbappe, the big 3 with the goals. 5 minutes away from half-time.
Well, there's a silly penalty to give away. Beautifully taken into the top corner, sending Craig Gordon the wrong way. I have to say, I didn't expect him to miss.
The day could have got any worse. Invader had run on the park and tried to boot Danny Alves there. Well, being 3-0 and doing it at half time is disappointing. Celtic Park's great on nights like these, especially the night that didn't get dark just after kick-off. There was a gradual darkness fell over the stadium. There was a great atmosphere, a great party, but what's about the bush? PSG have shown they are an elite club. We haven't laid a glove on them. Their performance has been absolutely fantastic. You can argue, we should have done better, we should have had a free kick for the first goal. The bottom line is we can't get anywhere near them. We know what they're going to do and we just can't stop them doing it. The biggest disappointment apart from the scoreline is the wee leaving what they call my fan has ran on the park, swung a kick at Danny Alves. Danny Alves, who's been absolutely superb for them, by the way. When's this going to end? We've got to have a look at him. The effort are going to blow at. We could be looking at a partial stadium closure. I'm having a look in here, we're under the concourse in 4-1-2. I'm having a wee look here, bum faces. We're getting a bit of a European lesson here, and to tell you the truth, it's not really enjoyable. Maybe in hindsight it would be enjoyable. What we need to have a look at is how win the second half, try and get ourselves into the game, but it's extremely difficult. Their guys are absolutely superb, they're quick, they're strong, they're technical. Better than what I expected, far better than what I expected. They're laying a marker down the night, and I don't think we're not handling it. I'm fearing the second half. The atmosphere's kind of turned. When the invader ran on the park, the atmosphere has turned. When he was getting took in, when he was getting took out of the stadium, there was punches, he was getting spat on, there was kicks getting aimed at him. I'm actually really quite scunnered. I never thought I would be scunnered. They're good though, they are good. No matter my feelings about them or anybody else's feeling about them spending an extreme amount of money, all three of their strikers have scored. I think it would be very harsh on the Celtic players to pick faults with any of them. PSG have just been good. I'll try and get a word with a couple of folk at half time, and I'll see what happens. He'll. 3-0 done at half time, what's your thoughts?
That's what you're up against. And people are talking about being embarrassing. What's embarrassing is supporting a team that's paid for by the natural resources of a poor country, getting raped and put in the pockets of mercenary fuckers like Neymar. That's not a football team, that's just a toy, rich bastard's toy.
It's been impressive though.
It's been brilliant. A brilliant team, no doubt about it. That's what you want. You'd love to be able to play like that. You can see that they're ahead of us, half a yard ahead of us in every way. So there's nothing you can do about that. You can't go through them, you can't go and kick them. You just got to do your best, hope you get a lucky break.
I've not got close for me. I think it's a bit harsh on any of the players to say that they've had a bad game. I think two players are chasing shadows. They know what they're going to do, they just can't stop them doing it.
Right, absolutely not. See, there's absolutely nothing you can do. You see a few times we've got a toe in the ball, and normally the ball would break loose, would be away. There's another one of your guys getting it, or they're getting a toe back. They're getting every one of them's a better player than their players. When you've got 11 better players than yours, you need a bit of luck. Or something to go wrong, and it's just not going on for them.
Early goal in the second half, we're back in it, though.
I don't doubt about it. If we get the first goal, I'll be like that disappointed we don't go and beat them.
I said beforehand that PSG were the best team I've seen at Celtic Park in 1995. And again, this is probably one of the best performances I've seen at Celtic Park.
So I agree with you. When we beat Barcelona, at the time they were supposed to be the best team in the world, and they were. But to be honest, they didn't really look for all their possession, didn't look threatening. That mob looked like they could score whenever they feel like it.
Well, we'll hope for the second half then.
Here's hope.
Team's coming back in for the second half. Celtic are making a sub. Who do you think it is? McGregor. Guy up there was saying to me, here we go. He says, I haven't watched PSG and I you could probably do this to Bayern Munich. What do you think? Or is this a weird rubbish?
Bayern Munich are totally different outfit. Defending wise,
they're an aging side though.
And they're a knowledgeable side. They'll possibly beat Bayern Munich, but they'll go with this much easily.
Dragons up the park.
That's what that is, aye.
Won the second half.
Maybe not win the second half, but it's the try. It's a try and make the ball stick up top a bit longer. Try and make it as hard as possible for the players.
You never can. See if we scored the first goal, the comeback's on. You know what I mean?
Aye. We'll wait and see, but very much doubt it.
Referee was laughing. Waste the money, you prick!
I'm pretty sure that's never envisioned me to pay that.
I was probably rattled something I don't get it out, but it's too fair. A great run up the pitch and as he was charging back he had somebody too. It's amazing what a good old Scottish get into them just for the end.
Lovely pass for Sinclair, it's good movement. Looks to get beyond Marquinhos. Scott Sinclair did really well. That's a terrific save from Areola to keep him out.
Well, this is something I think Scott Sinclair has to do more, and that's drive the outside. I'd like to see him always come on that inside on his right foot.
It's all going according to script for Paris Saint-Germain. Mbappe's pass, lovely layoff from Dani Alves. Draxler's cut back, and what an opportunity for Neymar to score his second.
Well, absolutely brilliant build-up play. It really was. They always get runners beyond the ball, on the move. Wonderful touch, good spot. Neymar.
And struggles to get regular game. Mbappe threatening again, surely this time. Well, he could have had a hat-trick by now, and he's missed a sitter there, Neymar.
It's really good from Mbappe. Not just a goal scorer, got really good awareness for such a young player. And he's the one which hits Ralston in the chest.
Draxler. Benatti. The German Draxler. Twisting away from Sinclair. Firing the ball across goal. And it's an own goal. Mikel Lustig puts the ball in the back of his own net. And PSG have a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, and it's superb from Draxler off the bench. Talk about the other three forwards. Just breezes past Scott Sinclair. Lustig's a bit unlucky on the far post. It's fired across. I think it actually goes through Ralston, through his legs, and Lustig's just not expecting it. And that pretty much sums up Celtic's night.
Miserable Mikel Lustig. Prodded away by Lustig. Kurzawa for Cavani.
That's brilliant.
And it's 5-0.
It's absolutely stunning, Rob. It really, really is. That's world class. His run is exceptional. His awareness, the timing of his run. It's a bit of luck there, but he just peels away from Simunovic, and then what a ball. But he has got so much to do there. Cavani uses the pace of the ball as it bounces. The direction and the accuracy there is absolutely stunning.
That is a brilliant header from Edinson Cavani.
Celtic players are coming to take their play with the fans who are left in the stadium. The walk back underneath the north stand is a bit different from the walk here, No many glum faces. I mean, the game was over well before the 2 goals in the second half. A better performance in the second half, to tell you the truth. Plenty of effort. We were dead on our feet. I mean, the last 2 goals came from basically us being completely knackered. Some great moments, like memorable moments in what's been a night when we've realised our level. And it's never, we all know our level, but it's never nice getting reminded of where we are in the grand scheme of things. The moments, Ralston doing the run up the wing and kicking the ball in the way back, and then squaring up to Neymar. Celtic support were magnificent in the second half. And hopefully I've captured some of that in the audio that I've got. We are where we are. We do know where we are. We're competing for 3rd place. We're a top 4 team for a reason, and we're competing for 3rd place. The gap between us and PSG's in this world is never going to get breached. Yes, it's no nice getting a reminder of where you are and watching a team absolutely take you apart, but when you compete at this level, it's going to happen. It is going to happen, and sometimes you just can't stop it. PSG were really, really impressive tonight, and again, I'm not going to be too hard on the players. I'm worried about Saturday because of just the amount of effort they put in to fight the ball, the tiredness that we showed in the end. It's a sore one to take. I'm sure Rodgers will get a bit of abuse for the usual suspects in the press, but really, could we expect anything else? I think anybody would have struggled to stop PSG tonight, and we just need to move on. Sometimes it's difficult, and sometimes we just really need to move on. Look at the weekend, Liverpool were beat 5-0 off Man City. They were a man down, but they spent hundreds of £1 million. PSG will do that to better teams than us over the course of this season. They've probably already done it to better teams than us in the French League. The good thing is Anderlecht never got a point. Or 3 points, but that's where we are. Again, we're in a bum fight with Anderlecht for 3rd place. I think that's very, very clear now after match day 1. I'll try and get some more interviews on the way in the bus home. Be prepared for probably some colourful language.
When you're on the telly.
What did you think of that then? PSG the best team you've seen at Celtic Park?
48 years old and definitely the best team I've ever seen at Celtic Park. The gap's getting wider every year and it's all about the money.
Me and I need to pay for that sample there that you're singing, What do you think? So you've just read the results there. All the pot 1 teams have hammered quite a few teams this night. The Champions League just a case of haves and have nots. We just need to aim to be in it every year and just hope for the best.
Aim to be in it every year and aim for 3rd every year, so we're in Europe after Christmas in the Europa League.
We are a Europa League team, We are a Europa
Well,
League
right
side.
now possibly, but I'm old enough to remember when we were a Champions League team. Barcelona 2-1, Juventus 4-3. What else, Davey? Help me out here.
Man United 1-0.
Man United 1-0, thanks, Paul.
But even then, it maybe just shows you how much football's changed from their results to now.
As the gap's getting wider now for the have and have-nots, definitely.
Do you think Rodgers made a mistake tonight playing Ralston?
No, I thought Ralston gave 100%, and I particularly liked it when he took that boy from behind and he got a high five from Bruni.
I thought he made a mistake playing Armstrong. I thought Rogic was miles better when he came on.
Rodgers done better when he came on, but again, I don't think anybody could have made a complete and utter difference in the first half. You couldn't.
Belly.
The only reason it didn't finish more than 5-0 is because PSG had the game won at half time and they took the foot off the gas. Or it could have been wider.
PSG, the best side you've ever seen at Celtic Park.
They're up there. They're fucking up there.
Yes. That's the eye.
I don't know, see when Terry Butcher and they were playing the Rangers, they were a great fucking side. They're not cheating right enough, but they were a good side. It was EBT's fucking to the left and the right and centre.
I would say that's the best performance I've seen in a wee side. Aye. In Europe, definitely.
It's
The
all
man
in
at
it.
the back, the man at the back for PSG, Mota, everything went through him. I thought he was fucking brilliant. Outstanding.
You need to say Terry Hurlock's fucking laddie. Fucking bit of football there.
Again, it's difficult to actually, when you realise the level that we're actually at, and we probably will never compete at this level again, especially with the top clubs. I mean, you didn't like it, but sometimes you just need to go like that to PSG. You've just got to suck it up, eh?
Listen, you've got to hold your hands up and say, Jesus, they're a,
There's only 5 million.
3-4 levels above us.
And the last two goals only really came
Over that header, man, that was
That's a
time.
fantastic header, eh?
Fucking on the line of the 6-yard box, they put it in the top fucking corner.
When you have a look at the results tonight, every top 4 team got quite a doing. And I think that tells it all. I think that tells the whole story. Do you think Rodgers made a mistake playing Ralston?
No way. Listen, Ralston was one of, if not the best player, one of the best players there. I thought he was fantastic.
Keep him in the team.
Keep him in the team.
I thought Scott Brown played well again.
He's got pace at right back, eh? He's good, but he's no quick. And I see him failing a wee bit. I would keep Ralston in the team now. And if you're going to have to wait for a centre half for Bayat to be finished to be ready, play Lustig at centre half. In the SPL, no bother. He'll walk it. Play Ralston at right back. That's what I say.
Cheers, lads. What did you think of that?
Sheer golfing class, basically. I've never seen such a big golfing class before in my life, to be honest, at Parkhead anyway. Strange feeling is I don't think that should be played particularly bad either, so it's kind of a bizarre feeling leaving the stadium, getting cuffed 5-0 and still thinking I don't think that should be that bad.
I completely agree with that, eh? And it's one of the times where I've walked out the ground and I've said I nobody had an absolutely terrible game.
Yeah.
It was just that there's no at that level.
I think that's a positive to take from it, to be honest. But with the guys put in their shift, for the talent that we have, playing at our own level, and it does show the golf is there. They say money talks. I'd like to say it doesn't, but unfortunately it did in this case.
I think watching it, you knew what they were going to do, but you just couldn't stop them doing it because they were that quicker, that stronger. That they were programmed to actually do it.
They were super organised, super fit.
When you actually look Saws after about 80 minutes, every single one of the players was dead on their feet. They couldn't go any further.
Even luck at that level, it seems to be like every split ball seems to go to them. It's just because they're fitter, but you wonder how every sort of slide tackle that comes in when it spills out, it just happens to go to one of their players. We probably think that way. Ross Counties think that probably when they play us, but it's weird just every 50-50 where the ball spills out, it just seems to run to them. But they're just fitter, they're closer to the ball. I just couldn't believe it. Sometimes you just think how many times can they get the rub of the green, but at that level they just seem to be a class apart.
Maybe it's just the fact that they're quicker and they can read the game better than it looks like they're getting the break of the ball, but it's all just down to ability.
Certainly in terms of fitness, Ralston for me wasn't really bombing forward for a young lad, and that's Sinclair was getting shouted at a lot, but he was taking on 2 or 3 players because he didn't have Lustig used to be bombed a bit forward, a bit more than that. So I kind of felt sorry for Sinclair more tonight. He was getting a bit of abuse from the stands.
Me too.
Wasn't really his fault trying to beat 2 or 3 class defenders. It just wasn't on.
I felt he was dropping right back far too often, and then he had ground to cover to try and catch up at the other end afterwards. So he did put in that.
But Ralston wasn't bailing him out at the other end. I thought.
Yeah.
Do you think that this Rodgers no buying a centre half and the transfer windows came back to bite him? Or the night that doesn't matter, the night we would have probably got a hefty defeat with,
well, unfortunately,
PSG.
it shows in home games as well, in our own league. We have that nervousness going into it. We don't have a central defender that's going to just organise that part of the park. And asking somebody else who's not a natural defender to do it shows there's a huge gap. So we haven't got the talent there. We need it.
Do you think until Boyata comes back that possibly Ralston should continue at right back and Lustig as centre half?
Strangely, I think Beaton was particularly bad at centre back at home. All his bad games at centre back have been away. So I would have had Lustig at right back tonight and Beaton at centre back personally.
Oh, you're the only person that says that.
He's not played particularly bad at home. Now, maybe we'll have a lot less possession in games like this at home. But I think the fact we never signed anyone, because when Sviatchenko or Boyata comes back, they'll both be massively short of match fitness. So if either of them get chucked in against Bayern Munich or whoever, they're going to get torn apart anyway. So I think we needed to sign somebody, but the decision should have been made weeks ago, so they could have had the chance to get up to match fitness, because whoever we would have signed probably wouldn't have been the first choice for whatever team either.
Anderlecht got a defeat, a 3-0 defeat in Munich. Bum fight between us and them for third spot, and you're still confident after watching that tonight that they can get third?
I don't know a great deal about Anderlecht, but I would say so. I think basically we're going to lose home and away pretty much to the big two, and then it's basically a home and away tie against them. That's what I see it as. I know we've only played one game, but I can't see us taking points off even at home against Bayern Munich. So I think it is basically going to be a 2-legged affair, really.
I still miss Bobo and Samaras.
Spoke to you before the game, David, so what do you think now?
Quite detached from it, is it really the European Cup? They're not even the champions of France, all that money, but if you're a well-run club, you've got no chance. Absolutely. La Liga reported Paris Saint-Germain to UEFA last week. La Liga with Barcelona and Real Madrid, they've even said that this isn't on. So it's just going to be a mega rich corporations and countries funding half a dozen teams, and they should have a wee league of their own because it's not the European Cup. So I don't really think anybody's that upset by it or surprised. Celtic had half a dozen players played very well.
I think that's what's quite no galling, but we can't say that we were absolutely terrible because we weren't. We were just beating a far superior team, and a team that we're never going to compete with unless some Arab country decides to buy us.
Celtic built a team and won the European Cup, and teams like Ajax followed on from that, and these teams were built and they played their style of football, And they didn't win the French league. They spent nearly 500 million in 3 players. It's not. Football is what you actually think. You build a team, and like the Liverpool team that Dalglish was in. These teams are an identity and they were a club. Have you ever supporting that? Is it really half of the French guys are rugby fans?
PSG have always had a kind of image problem in France anyway. They're not a light club, and now they're probably seen as a nouveau rich club, and maybe a bit plastic because he's signing a Neymar and that. Do you think they'll ever have the global appeal that they obviously crave via Real Madrid, Barcelona, or even a Bayern Munich, or a Liverpool even?
I think we're in a new era. I actually think it's a new era of football. All the things that we accept and we've grown up, you can't compete with that. There is not a club in European football that can compete with that unless they're financially doped to a huge extent. It's a Frankenstein tournament. That's what it is. It's not really going to be something. And other teams like Man City, all their money, they're going to fall by the wayside because they won't even be able to compete. What chance have they got?
Where do Celtic go then? Is that club?
Well, I think the bubbles burst and these teams that aren't really proper football clubs, I don't see them having been around. They're going to be loveless. Nobody's going to love these teams or remember them. I just think that the Europa League is proper football. When we played the Norwegian side, Rosenborg, it was the champions of Scotland played the champions of Norway, and they had a very good game. And we've lost to Norwegian teams and we lost to Malmo, but no team from these countries, if you're not in one of these big countries, even the Italian teams can't compete with that. The Spanish are up in arms because they now can't compete with that. So it's like, what's the point?
There's a bit of a rumour. I listened to a podcast with Arseblog, and it was a book by, I can't remember the boy's name, it was a book called Billionaire, and he was talking about billionaires buying football clubs, and basically he can foresee an MLS type where the elite 20 go and play each other all around the world, and just they're in their own wee bubble. There's no promotion, no relegation, and it's all doing how much money that they're going to make. Can you see that happening? I would let them go in there. I would let them bugger off.
Absolutely. It's like, we were if you take it into global brands, that was Coca-Cola tonight. We're Iron Brew. We're the top dog in our own country. But that's it.
Well, there you have it. Quite a lot of good views. I think the overriding view is that we're not completely disappointed, but it's a sore reminder of where we are, and it does beg questions about the future of the Champions League and our participation in the Champions League. Is one of as David says, it's a Frankenstein tournament. These results are going to keep on happening as the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. We'll have to fight another day though, and we are a Europa League team, and we need to fight to get into that Europa League. Really, we just need to roll with it. Thanks very much for listening. I've been Kevin Graham, and this has been a Celtic State of Mind Champions League Special.